What's going on, everybody? Another episode of 4x4 Camping Adventures. In today's episode, I'm going to take you through the first 10,000 Ks that I put on the Toyo Rts and give you a bit of my insight of how they've been for the first 10,000 Ks. So let's get into it. So first things first, what I want to talk about is tyre wear. So you would obviously think 10,000 Ks, you're not going to have too much tyre wear on your tyres or anything like that. But I suppose the big thing that I did before I really put any kilometres on these tyres, because obviously I do a lot of driving, but I wanted to make sure I had my tyre pressures right. So tyre pressures I think is key, especially with any kind of tyre. And you spend obviously a lot of money on these tyres, so you want to make sure you get the absolute best out of them, or the absolute maximum amount of Ks out of them. I approached Toyo and had a bit of conversation with them about tyre pressures, all that kind of thing, what's going to be best for the actual tyres, and based on my weight of my car. So I went into the weigh bridge, weighed the car. It had 1.1 tonnes over the front, 1.3 tonnes over the rear. And with those pressures, Toyo came back and said you need 28 psi in the front and 30 psi in the rear, which actually I thought was quite low, but based on the weights and that kind of thing and the carcass of this tyre, it was absolutely perfect. And since putting those pressures in pretty much in the first 100-ish Ks, they've been fantastic. So I haven't had any shoulders or anything like that wearing off. They've still got a very square shoulder. It hasn't burred up or I suppose edged off or anything like that. Getting a nice even consistent tyre wear over the complete tyre, which is awesome. So next step, let's talk a little bit about forward driving. So forward driving wise, I've had these at Brunswick, I've had them at Mojave, done a lot of mud in these tyres, and so far so good. They've been hooking up really well, been getting a lot of traction, and haven't had any dramas wherever I've been. They've definitely hooked up pretty well and got me through whatever obviously I'm going through. But I've been pretty happy with them so far. With the mud, the big praise is obviously going to be on the sand. So comparing these to my mud tyres, definitely taking a lot less pressure out of them to get hooking up on the beach and not labouring the car too much. With the muddies, I probably had to go down to about 12-ish psi to really get them to bag out properly. With these, it's about 16 to 18 psi, which is pretty awesome. So definitely, not putting the tyres down as much, which obviously makes it easier to pump up when you get to the other end, because you're not putting as much air in there. So with sand, they've been absolutely awesome. I hook up everywhere, and I've never had a drama with these on the beach, and they seem to just float across the beach, which is awesome. Don't dig in too much or anything like that, which is even better. So give you, as I said, my first 10,000 Ks. Talk about tyre noise. As I said, this is my daily driver. I drive on these tyres every day, as I said, putting 700 to 1,000 Ks on each week. And I suppose the one thing that I didn't want was tyre noise. With these RTs, I definitely don't notice them when I'm in the car. Obviously, you get that tyre noise. Like any tyre is going to give you tyre noise because it's something rolling on the ground. But you don't get any sort of whirring noises. You don't get any sort of continuous noises that are really going to bug you when you're in the car. So you don't have to sort of crank the stereo up to offset the tyre, sound of the tyres or anything like that. So definitely notice that these are a very, very quiet tyre. Almost, I'll probably actually say as quiet as an all-terrain. They're actually quieter than my Maxxis tyres. And they weren't a really aggressive all-terrain. They were almost like that sort of BF Goodrich style. They had the locking style tread pattern on them, but they become really noisy at the end of it. So these are extremely quiet comparing to my mud terrains and obviously those Maxxis tyres. So really, really happy with that. So you don't get fatigued, obviously, when you're driving long distances and that kind of stuff. But as I said, first 10,000 Ks, these have been awesome. So if you got any questions or comments, chuck them down the bottom. As always, like and subscribe. And I'm going to continue this series, 10, 20, 30,000, 40,000 Ks. As I said, these videos are probably going pretty quick and fast because I really load up my Ks on my car. It's probably one of those things that I'll make a bit of a series out of and talk about the journey along the way so you guys can get a bit of insight on how these tyres are going. But first impressions, really stoked with them. They're really awesome. Happy with off-road performance. They've been absolutely fantastic. And can't wait to drop some more Ks on them. So as always, been another episode of 4x4 Camping Adventures. Like, subscribe and comment. And if I don't see you in the next video, I might see you out in the traction trails. If I don't see you in the traction trails, I shall see you later. Bye.